October is the season for ghosts, goblins, and all things frightening. And a Middle Tennessee hospital has the spooky designation as one of the most haunted places in Tennessee. Here to tell us more about the Old South Pittsburg Hospital Paranormal Research Center is the owner, Ronnie D. Ronnie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me this afternoon.
All right, so the hospital has been closed since 1998. How did it become an attraction for people who love ghost hunting?
I think it became actually an attraction prior to it closing. There was actually a lot of nurses and doctors who had some paranormal experiences in here while the building was actually operating. And as time went on, it became kind of known that the hospital did have a lot of activity in it. And then after closing, it was purchased by one of the doctors that actually worked here. And they opened it up to the paranormal field for people to do studies on the paranormal.
Interesting. Can you give us some of the history behind the hospital and the land that it's on and the paranormal activities that we can see there?
Oh, sure. The land that it's on actually, before the hospital was built, was actually a community garden. There were a couple of doctors that got involved and actually built what was called the Tri-City Clinic, which was actually the original part of the building. And over the course of many, many years, the building has 4 different expansions to it. Where I'm sitting right now is actually the second floor of the expansion that actually faces Holly Avenue. And this was actually the patient rooms that they would utilize here. The doctors then actually the hospital had closed as a result of a hospital being built down the road and this one kind of becoming a little obsolete.
So folks can come and tour the hospital and even stay overnight?
That is correct. We do daytime tours as well as overnight investigations. If you and your team want to come down and do an overnight investigation, it's really kind of cool. You come into the building about 6 o'clock. We start with a historic tour of the building. We kind of teach you everything that's involved in the hospital in terms of the history and all the great doctors and nurses that worked here. And then you're released in the building to do a paranormal investigation. A lot of the things that you'll see in the building are disembodied voices. A lot of people will see shadow figures. Every once in a while, you'll get that really, really cool, oh my gosh, I'm having a full body apparition. So there's many, many different things that go on in the building. It was a very active hospital when it was working, and a lot of that energy is still in the building today.
Interesting. All right, if you're not the kind of person that likes to be scared, how scary is it?
I don't think it's scary at all. We don't have any real negative in the building at all. The spirits are very open to us being in here. They want to tell their stories. I do have to admit that it is very, very dark in here in the middle of the night. So if you're afraid of the dark, this may not be a place that you want to come to.
Okay. Ronnie, thanks so much for telling us about it. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, if you'd like to find out more about the Old South Pittsburg Hospital Paranormal Research Center, we've got a link to their website on ours at newschannel5.com.